YouTube, what the crap's going on? I've gotten to play some of my battles on live stream, so I wanted to get to a few viewer replays. I've had this one for a little bit, and it was a viewer who was using the Luminark versus Wood Elves, and I wanted to see how he used it, see how it worked out. It looks like he's got a Branch Wraith and a Tree Man and an Ancient Tree Man, so he's got pretty big, large targets here. And there's also some Tree Kin and other stuff that would be pretty easy for the Luminark to hit. He's got the Templehof Luminark, and we're looking at a line of swordsmen. I kind of like this same thing versus the Wood Elves. I mean, it's not perfect, especially now that Wildwood Rangers are actually pretty good. But swordsmen do have shields, and it helps against a lot of the missile fire. He's got the Sterling's Revenge, Free Company Militia, Silver Bullets, the Knights of the Blazing Sun, the Tattersouls, Halberdier out on the flank, a Light Wizard, I like that because the net, and then Volkmar the Grim. Interesting pick. I wonder why Volkmar. I don't know much about Volkmar. I mean, he's got these battle prayers that do damage, damage resistance that affects all allies in range. I mean, I've never been a huge fan. Oh, he's got this Jade Griffin though that replenishes hit points. That's kind of cool. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of Volkmar, but we'll see. Alright, so for the elves, Glade Riders with Hagbang tips. We're going to have Eternal Guard up front. No shields. Ooh, there's the first shot from the Luminark, and it picks off a Tree Kin. And does some collateral to these Dryads. Some pretty decent collateral. So, picking off a Tree Kin, is it worth it for every shot that the Luminark takes? Because it's only got 10 shots in total. I guess it depends. The Tree Kin are kind of the tanky center of this army. He's killing a fair few Dryads in there too. Let's see how this turns out. I gotta get a drink real quick, sorry. Alright, so comes the Silver Bullets and Sterling's Revenge. They both have stock. He's gonna use the net on these Glade Riders with Hagbane tips. Probably a good idea. They're pretty close to this Templehof Luminark, though. The Luminark has picked off 3 Tree Kin. Oh, yeah, see, here comes the shots. It's actually going to damage the Luminark pretty well. So he's going to want to get rid of these Glade Riders, and then there's some Deepwood Scouts that just pushed up, too. And these guys are going to be pretty dangerous to the Free Company Militia and Silver Bullets, but then they're going to get hit by a net. And the Glade Riders got hit, too. So let's see if they can close the distance. These guys can still fire, and then there's some Glade Guard with Starfire shafts back there as well. This is a pretty cool looking unit. The Sterling's Revenge. Their range is pretty short though. That's the downside to them, but they do have the stock ability. Here comes Volkmar. Even the Light Wizard wants to come out on his horsey and do some work here. Another net coming in. Looks like he's cycling nets. So he gets rid of a Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards. Gosh dang, I hate saying that. There comes Volkmar. He's going to get into the Glade Riders, but they should be able to get away and get some support. So we're up to 28 kills, 7 shots remaining on the Luminark. It looks like he's kind of holding fire. Did a pretty good deal of damage to a couple of the units so far. And then I think that the magical damage of the Luminark should do even better versus the Tree Kin, because they have a physical resistance. Yeah, see that? The 20% physical resistance. It's going to be the same thing on the Tree Man, and does the Branch Wraith have it too? He does. Alright, so any of the Tree Spirit units, it kind of looks like that. Silver Bullets are taking some hits. These Blade Guard with Starfire shafts definitely have a nice ranged advantage back here. Knights of the Blazing Sun and these swordsmen and everybody else needs to get back from those guys because they're just going to give them kills. Let's see if the Luminark's charging up another shot or not. Such a cool looking unit. Volkmar here. So I see the Tree Men now moving forward, and the Luminark's going to charge it up and let it rip. And let's see what he hits. Shot for the Tree Kin again. So the Tree Kin's a little under half health. Now it's being healed, but you can see there that the healing's not doing anything because the Luminark actually snipes off a unit model. So you got to be careful. The Lore of Life healing is not to be mistaken for Invocation of Nahak, which I've seen a few people kind of almost think it works that way. Invocation of Nahak regenerates and then resurrects units. when it gets to that point. That is not the case with the healing from the Lore of Life. Thank goodness, honestly, or else the Empire would be pretty OP. And yeah, it would be crazy. But yeah, in any case, it works best with units that don't lose models easily, like small number of unit models or a single unit model. Ooh, look at the magical damage coming off the silver bullets, doing very well here. They're going to lock down the tree kin. Ooh, man, that ancient tree man just ate a nasty shot from the Luminark. Really nasty shot. 5 shots left, and the ancient tree man's half dead here. I believe the ancient tree man's sporting the Lore of Life. He's now pinned down because he stepped into the circle, and the other tree man's walking right towards that circle as well. Ooh, there it is. The silver bullets pouring fire into the netted tree man. That net looks a little bit small, but apparently it's magic. No, seriously, it's magic. Let's see what's happening here. So there's some healing, I think, from the ancient tree man, but he is getting the crap kicked out of him. Yeah, he's going to rout. Luminarks charging up another shot. Boom! Right through the tree man. Takes up about half his health. I think against this forest spirit type army, the Luminark definitely could be handy, and you're seeing that here. And the Eternal Guard just aren't going to perform spectacularly versus swords, and vice versa, which is fine for the Empire because the swords are a little cheaper, I think. So the Branch Wraith back here, and it's kind of interesting because the Ancient Tree Man had some magic. The Branch Wraith has slightly different magic, but you'd be sharing that same magic pool. The Elf player concedes defeat. The Luminark had just popped another shot on the Tree Man, so it's going to be a decisive victory. Let's watch one more battle where he uses these Luminarks and kind of see how it turns out. I just want to see this because I like seeing the different... I think all these are him. Let's go to this one. So yeah, this one looks like we got another Ancient Tree Man and some Sisters of the Thorn, I think. That's what I saw there. Sisters of the Thorn are so expensive. If that's what I saw. Yeah, there's 3 of them out here. Ooh, look at that. The silver bullet's going to immediately clean up like a ton of health on one. And there's an Empire Captain right here handy at the start. But the Sisters of the Thorn are going to push for the silver bullets, and that makes sense. But the silver bullets are going to do an immense amount of damage, and then the Empire Captain's going to catch up. These Sisters of the Thorn are extremely expensive. Did the Luminark pop a shot? It did. It took a shot. I'm not sure what it shot at, because I don't see any damage riding over here. So the Temple off Luminark's going to pull back. We got Tattersouls, Sigmar's Sons, mostly swordsmen once again. The Sisters of the Thorn are going to be pushed off of the... oh, there's the net. If these silver bullets can... Oh, no, the Hawk Riders are going to come in, maybe try and finish too. The Sisters of the Thorn need to be attacked while they're netted, and they are. They're being attacked by the General of the Empire, so that's great. It's going to terrify them and do some good work. Hawk Rider's going to be pushed back by the silver bullets and the Empire Captain. 2 Deepwood Scouts, but now they're in range of the Crossbowmen, and the Crossbowmen are going to get a great trade here because the Deepwood Scouts are way too close. They have the... they're actually on par. I wonder if this is before the patch. No, because the Waywatchers have 180. These Deepwood Scouts do not have the 180 range. I thought they had all been given it. So these Sisters of the Thorn out here, pretty expensive units for not doing a whole lot just yet. This one's almost off the battlefield, but I don't know, the General of the Empire is eating some damage over here. He does have a potion, so it should be safe. Hawk Riders are coming in. Quite a few units back here, though. I would almost think the Hawk Riders might want to try and go for the Luminark, and the Luminark just blasted the Tree Man. He's going to save himself, maybe, with some healing? No, he's using Shield of Thorns. No healing. And the Tree Man's going to break. The Luminark's charging up the shot. Boom! That's one way to fell a tree. Who knew the Luminark was also a great axe? And then the Knights of the Blazing Sun up in here, too, are going to do a lot of damage versus the War Dancers. Curse of Anraer on Swordsman. I don't think that's... I mean, it's going to take their speed down, but yeah, it won't do much else. Curse of Anraer would have been good to throw on the Luminark so that it might miss its shot. Yeah, you got these Waywatchers who have fallen back, but these Knights of the Blazing Sun should push through and can take their pick of either Glade Guard or Waywatchers. Waywatchers would be the more expensive and more dangerous target to take down. So here comes the Knights of the Blazing Sun. pound into the Way Watchers, so those guys are in trouble. Luminark now can just pick targets. Sisters of the Thorn are getting caught by swordsmen, so expensive unit not getting micromanaged. That's one of the dangers of bringing these really expensive Wood Elf units. Some of them need to be micromanaged pretty well, and it's not always easy, and you got to think about that. Let's go run a couple of tests, or like a test or two, just real quick, with some of the changes that have been made. So custom battle. Let's bring up the Wood Elves here. Just gonna throw a Glade Lord out here. I don't want any special abilities or anything. And then, so we've got these Way Watchers now that are 180 range. They have pretty good armor piercing. They're Master Ambusher. There's only 45 units, and they have 18 ammunition. Let's compare the... So there's more ammunition on a Glade Guard. I feel like that... So these guys cost 1,100. They have okay melee stats. They're really not very impressive. Their armor's not very good. They do have Master Ambusher. I believe they have... Yeah, they have the stock ability, which is cool. But, I mean, still, for 1,100... I'm glad they increased the range. This is one of the few units that I was okay with the patch to come through on. And I think the Wildwood Rangers needed to be patched too, because they were pretty worthless whenever I tested them before. The Way Watchers, I still am not convinced that this unit would frequently be worth it. With the fewer unit models, and then if you look at the damage output, the damage is lower because they do armor piercing. And it's pretty decent armor piercing damage at 18. But, I mean, it's still... 45 men or elves shooting only 18 ammunition, whereas the Glade Guard over here with the Starfire shafts does 16 armor piercing. There's 60 elves per unit, and there's 20 ammunition. You're going to actually deal more armor piercing damage with the Glade Guard with Starfire shafts, and they cost considerably less. Now, they give up the ability to fire in all directions while running around and stalk and all other stuff, but it's just a safer investment. So I don't know, to me Way Watchers still seem pretty expensive. Pretty expensive. They get this right here, no enemy presence in ability range. So if there's no enemy within 70 meters, they get an extra 25% armored piercing damage, which would be about like another 4 or 4.5 what they have there. Yeah, and then the Deepwood Scouts, these guys can, I believe, they can fire while smoothies. They're Vanguard deployed. They are a Master Ambusher, so they can fire in any direction and all that kind of stuff. A little bit shorter range. They didn't get the 180 range, but, you know, at 700, it's possible that these guys could be nice because of the stock ability. Again, only 45 and only 18 ammunition. And the missile damage here is, there's no armor piercing. It's kind of pathetic missile damage, to be quite honest. These ones get a lot more missile damage, but they're trading damage. Well, they shoot 2 projectiles at a time. So these guys could dish the damage, but their range is greatly reduced. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these units here. What do you all think? Have you had any good experiences with them? Just kind of curious. Supposedly Creative Assembly said that the Wildwood Rangers have been made to be on par with... well, actually, I can't test this. I forgot, because I don't have my mod turned on where we can do the one-on-one combat. But they've told me, or they've told everybody in the patch notes, that these guys should be like perform pretty good against great swords. It's like they nerfed great swords and then made everything like perform against them too, which is, I mean, it's okay. The Empire's got so many tools. I'm not really complaining. I'm just saying it's interesting. So yeah. Anyway, these guys may be more useful now. If you look at the stats here, they've got a bonus versus large, which is pretty cool. Let's see what that amount is. It's only 12, but they do a lot of armor piercing damage. And against cavalry, these guys would do a lot of damage. And then they've also got this immune to psychology, which is quite nice. And the Guardians of the Wildwood, which gives them a charged defense against large if they're in the forest. So keep that in mind. Hope you all enjoyed this. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon.